Mercury. When it's in retrograde, things are gonna get spicy, saucy, and dare I say it, naughty as can be. Today I'm talking to Hunter Miller, public observing educator at the Adler Planetarium. Hunter helps run telescope-based programs for the Adler's visitors and guests. Perhaps he can shed some light on this hot, frisky little planet closest to the sun. Why is Mercury such a wild child? I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I'm Stacey Quasar, and this is News at the Speed of Light.
Hunter, thank you so much for joining me today. It is a pleasure and an absolute honor to be in your presence, surrounded by telescopes, which is indeed your forte.
Yeah, here they are.
Now, Hunter, we're going to talk about Mercury today. And Mercury is always moving back and forth, like the ticky part of a clock, or like a mouse sitting on a vacuum. How dizzy. Does Mercury not get whiplash because it doesn't have a neck?
Well, it may be a little dizzy, because it is constantly going in circles, right? It's orbiting around the sun, rotating on its own too. But whiplash back and forth, not so much.
So what is this retrograde moment then? It's not Mercury doing the moonwalk backwards?
No, Mercury would have a pretty tough time doing that. There's not so much that changes the force of Mercury. It doesn't have like big thrusters on it or anything. So what we would really call it is apparent retrograde motion. So in the sky, it might appear like Mercury is moving backwards in reference to the stars, but really it's still moving along in its circular path.
Now we all know Mercury as being a naughty little prankster who loves tasty little shenanigans. What about you, Hunter? Do you ever find yourself slipping into the salacious shoes of a trickster like our feisty little planetary neighbor?
I did like to play tricks on my sisters when I was little, maybe, like scare them around the corners, but nothing quite as serious as apparent retrograde motion, I would say.
Oh, how dare you! Your sisters, they must be traumatized.
Maybe.
Now, some may argue that things are not quite what they seem when it comes to Mercury being so retro. Perhaps we aren't quite what we seem from Mercury's perspective. For example, do you think Mercury looks and mistakenly sees me as an ill-qualified reporter with poor fashion taste? Or perhaps this telescope as a long owl?
Well, I can't imagine that Mercury would think of you like that, Miss Quasar. No, never. But like the Earth sees retrograde for many of the planets in the solar system, same for Mercury. If you were standing on Mercury, as we were watching it go into retrograde, it would be seeing us go into retrograde as our orbits pass each other. One of the most interesting things about Mercury is that if you were standing on the surface and watching the sun, you could actually see it rise, set again, and then rise back again, all in one morning.
Wild and hard to picture. Now, Hunter, Mercury is known for controlling many tricky little things, like gossip. Quick, pull a Mercury and start a salacious rumor about me right now.
So I heard that after your interview with renowned astronomer Gazajuk, that you decided to throw him into a black hole?
Stephen, I told you not to tell anybody that. Stop laughing, Stephen. Last question. Since Mercury is not currently in retrograde, what risky behaviors do you plan to participate in tonight?
Well, I did hear that it was going to be pretty windy tonight, so maybe some parasailing on the Winter Lake is up for grabs.
I'd like a front row seat to that. Hunter, it has been an absolute pleasure. You have unlocked mysteries of Mercury and its retrograde that I think will shock and scare our viewers. They won't want to leave their houses tonight. Lock your doors. Stay home. Check your calendars for the next retrograde. I hope we meet again. And under safer, less salacious circumstances.
Well, there you have it, folks. Hunter has single-handedly unlocked the secrets of Mercury's appetite for sneaky antics and apparent retrograde fever dreams. Will humankind ever successfully evade the tremendously effective effects of seeing a planet move funny when it's not really moving funny? The answer is most definitely no. Be very afraid. I'm Stacey Quasar, and this is News at the Speed of Light.